wonderful people, great Biafrans, wherever you are. This Wednesday evening, morning, afternoon, or night of the 28th day of October in the year of our Most High Elohim 2020. The time now is 3 minutes past 6 in the evening. Wherever you are domiciled, wherever you are listening to us from, be it on FM, on satellite, on IPOB Community Radio, Radio Biafra app, Radio Garden, TuneIn, Simple Radio, Sweet Radio, however you have chosen to listen to us this very evening, we welcome each and every one of you. And as we welcome you, we also ask you to welcome other people as well. We are live and we are direct, and the whole world is bearing us witness. The time now to demonstrate that we are live is 4 minutes past 7 p.m. in the land of Biafra, 4 minutes past the top of the hour, regardless of where you are. We are live and we are direct. And Chukwukika Biama is bearing us witness as always. And the whole world is bearing us witness. The time now to demonstrate that we are live is 4 minutes past 7 p.m. in the land of Biafra. 4 minutes past the top of the hour, regardless of where you are. We are live and we are direct. And Chukwukika Biama is bearing us witness as always. We have come to continue the ceaseless propagation of the gospel of redemption, the gospel of freedom, the gospel that is seeking to bring down on the kingdom of heaven onto this very earth. My name is Nnamdi Kanu. I am the leader of the largest mass movement on the face of this planet Earth, the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB. I am the director of Radio Biafra and Biafra Television. And by the very special grace of the Most High Elohim, a servant of the wonderful people of Biafra. We are live and we are direct. Anybody wishing to listen to us should be able to do so. But make it a point of duty to welcome other people. I know that some of you did not receive any notification, but I can assure you this evening that this is a live presentation, and barring any, should I say, unforeseen events, I should be live every blessed evening to preach this very gospel. Only tomorrow. I'm not sure I'll be live tomorrow evening because I do have an interview with Ovation Magazine, or should I say the owner of Ovation Magazine, Dele Momodu. But we shall be back again in the morning anyway, and I will give you an update. We are going to pray as it is normal and customary for us to do on this very platform. This very day that a judge who was presiding over our case, where he failed to turn up, on a day Hope Uzor paid the Nigerian army, the Fulani Janjaweed, to descend, where right now they are busy cowardly going from house to house and arresting people, and instructions have been issued. These politicians, they are liars and deceivers. They are liars and deceivers. Never ever believe anything they tell you. These are congenital liars. Since they want problem, We give them problem. I am live on air. If by the time I finish this very program, those that are arrested this evening, they have not released them, there will be no activity tomorrow in Owerri and the Imo State in its entirety. That thing they are looking for, they will get. They will get it. Those politicians, those of your governors, I have never seen a group of people who are steeped in lies and deception like them. They are liars. Do you know that Igbo governors went and was begging, they are the ones begging Fulani to give them? They asked all the governors to contribute. If you want Kanu to come to your state, please contribute. Hope Uzor paid. Dave Umahi paid. And we don't know who else paid. Those that they asked to come from wherever they were coming from, they have now arrived. You know what? Let me see the idiot that will call me to say, de-escalate. De-escalate. Idiots. So now that Hope Uzor brought in the army, you have not seen it. And they are a useless set of people. Let me call upon the Most High first of all. We are in a time of revolution. In a time of revolution. Other people have given up. Some of them. That is black man for you. This black. Just to protest and revolution for 2.5 weeks. This but we are IPOB and we continue. We are continuing. You people do not want freedom. You don't know what freedom is. You have no idea how expensive freedom is. I told you that British woman will defeat all of you. I told you, if you don't follow our instructions to the letter, Britain will deceive you and keep holding you bondage with the help of Fulani Janjaweed. Has it not happened? Ordinary propaganda for 4 days, you can't handle it. The army shot them. The army didn't shoot them. The army was there. The army was not there. It's the fault of ethnic group. Oh, blame IPOB. One of you. Hey, black. And this you. You people are useless. Useless to the core. But I'm sure that the youth will rise up again and come out and understand that perseverance is what gives you results. After 2-3 days, you know, hey, this thing they're doing, this thing they have called all your traditional, all these gossipers and idiots in the village. They have called them. And some of you have foolishly capitulated as always. Igbo governors, they tell you one thing, they do another. They say one thing, they do another. Meanwhile, they say, oh, we are calling for peace. But meanwhile, we are calling their Fulani friends to bring army. Please bring army. But please go back. There should be no more trouble. Please go back. At the back, they are talking to Fulani. Give us army. Give us army. Come and kill them. Igbo man. Hey, dear, let us call upon Elohim. Let us call upon this very evening, our Lord and our God, our Father who art in heaven. We are congregated all over the world to listen to this very gospel of hope that only you have decreed must be preached to the sons of men on this very earth. This evening, as we are here live on air broadcasting, those that claim that they are our leaders have brought death and mayhem upon us once again. In Yoruba land, their governors have not invited the army to come to kill the people. In the Middle Belt, the same. But in Biafra land, these people that call themselves governors, liars and deceivers, that I don't know how you allowed them to be given birth to in the first place. They have continued their annual call of young people in our land. This evening we ask for your mercy because they are in a worry. Not that we cannot fight back and kill these very people, but the thing is that the wider body of our people, Biafrans at large, they feed off gossip. They are very weak. They are not men. And if we keep quiet, your land will be taken over by the uncircumcised, very filthy Fulani Janjaweed. And we are not sure that that was your plan when you gave that land to our ancestors. Therefore, we call upon thee this very evening to give us common sense, a sense of understanding, forbearance, endurance even, but above all, a sense of pride that we have thee to fight our battles for us. We honor all those who have fallen. We remember those who have been illegally locked up. Dead bodies of your children are being discovered all over Enugu as we speak. We know that the same thing will apply elsewhere in Biafra land. We know they are abducting and killing your children in Akwa Ibom as we speak. We know that Iguacha, a land you blessed abundantly, but that the white man saw and decided to start the division of your family. That very land is also under siege, presided over by agents of Fulani Janjaweedism. We honor all young revolutionaries across Nigeria, especially in the Middle Belt, those that came out and answered this call, when out of anger and frustration, they rose up spontaneously to respond to a decaying evil regime that the Fulanis are presiding over in Abuja. We remember all of them. They are young revolutionaries, and most of them were martyred at Lekki Toll Gate in the process. They have now gone before us. All those who struggled for the sake of a new society. Some of them had in mind to build a new, viable, workable Nigeria. But as always, the old alliance that we warned them against ganged up to defeat them. And some people capitulated because they were weak. This evening, we ask you, O Heavenly Father, to remove that stupidity that is in every black man from the brain of these young people. We praise your holy name because you are God who formed us. You created Biafra, and we are led by you. That is why we said that no man can be king over another, but only the O Elohim is God and King over all. In gratitude, this very ancient nation of Biafra, we stand on your sacrifices and victories that you have given to us. Through our heroes who have passed and this very generation of young revolutionaries. O Elohim Adonai El Shaddai, we invite your presence into our lives this evening. Give us common sense because we need wisdom, we need strength, and we need all that we can get from thee to accompany us as we continue to embark on this very struggle to set your land free. We ask you to be with us always as we continue to fight that your kingdom may be restored on this very earth, that every glory and honor, adulation and adoration may be given to your name now and forevermore, we pray. He say, I will never get tired of saying this. It is either that God made a mistake creating black people, or if you are following Darwin's evolutionary theory, perhaps when living organisms or species were developing many thousands of years ago, perhaps after chimpanzees, then black people came, and then maybe after them, other races in the earth started to come. Because this evening before I came on air, I was asking myself what actually is responsible for the feebleness and the weakness of a black man. They are not resilient. With the exception of IPOB, who over the years have faced battles and still facing some this evening, you know, worry. Oh dear. Black people are not mentally tough enough. You allow yourself to be buffeted on all sides by fools before our own very eyes. Before our eyes. All of us knew the army was responsible for the shooting at Lekki. And I said that should this very revolution fail, they will come to your houses one after the other to arrest you. Is it not happening tonight? In Imo State? Is it not happening? You see, we are in Africa. Africans are very primitive in their thinking. When you embark on a revolution, you must win. And when you are going into a revolution, be prepared to invest everything you have into that revolution. Because in Africa, their politicians are just evil. They are very wicked people, I assure you. Very, very wicked. There are some things that some of you do not know. But this evening, by the grace of the Most High, I shall endeavor to enlighten you. There are politicians who are staking their entire life on getting into political office between now and 2023. They have made all their plans and all their arrangements. So they see this revolution, that very political ambition and aspiration. Therefore, for the sake of the survival of their own families, because of the money they are about to make, or they hope to make from 2023 onwards, they might as well sabotage this very effort, this very revolution. But they cannot succeed. There are people who are opportunists. They want to make, they claim they are rich, and they want to make even more money using the blood and the sacrifices that all our revolutionaries have made and will continue to make until our dream of a new society is attained. There is a man called Ifeanyi Ubah. They said he's from Nnewi. As soon as this whole thing started, he went about lying to the presidency of the zoo that he talks to me every day. I have never in my life spoken to Ifeanyi Ubah before. I have not. He kept using the name of IPOB. to extort money, very comfortable individuals in and around the Nnewi during this period. He has been going around duping people, obtaining money from them with falsehood, because he claimed that he would defend their properties for them and prevent our angry young people from attacking them. And he told Asorok that we speak on a daily basis, that he is in control of what is happening on the ground. That was the man that when this whole thing started, he was the one that was seen distributing 20,000 naira each to some hooligans. Very, very sad indeed. Those people that later on decided to occupy the road leading from Onitsha to Owerri, that necessitated or warranted the order that I gave during one of our emergency broadcasts that they should clear from the roads, which they did. If you know this man, Ifanyoba, who is from Nnewi, you go and warn him. All those stupid politics and games they play, we don't play it. We are IPOB. We don't play all those. They can play that nonsensical games with the hotelier. Not with us. Because we are very, very serious. If you have been duped with the name of IPOB, if you have been deceived into thinking that Ifanyoba has the ear of anyone, not even the unit coordinator in his village, then you are grossly mistaken. We don't know who he is, and we do not care to know who he is. The people of Nnewi should please take note and stop giving him your money or allowing him access to whatever influence that he thinks you may be able to wield in Abuja based on these lies he's been propagating. We don't know who he is. Coming to the Zoological Republic, it is very, very pertinent that we draw the attention of the world and humanity at large to what Nigeria is all about. And I want you this evening, as you listen to this very broadcast, to reflect, to ponder, to contemplate what would have been or what should have been. Do you know that people broke into warehouses trying to get their hands on the palliatives, for which Enugu state government ordered the senseless slaughter of a lot of people? I have asked somebody to send the video of those who were abducted and killed by the police to the governor of Enugu state. I did that before we come on air, so that they won't deny it. The palliatives that people went for in Enugu and were shot dead, people did the same thing in Abuja, in Bauchi, in Yobe, in Kaduna, and nobody shot them. And many other places. Nobody attacked or shot at them. Only in Enugu. There is something Igbo governors derive from killing their own people. They want to kill their youngsters so that the Fulani can come and take over our land. I have never seen a more frightened group of people than your average Biafran politician. They are all beholden to Fulani, to the might of Fulani Janjaweedism. They are cowards. That is why they kill their own people. All of you, perhaps some of you who are staying or living in Abuja, some of you that were online, talking, writing, and yapping your usual garbage, your usual nonsense. People are currently being arrested for no reason in Imo State. Because tomorrow night you say, oh, they are burning houses, oh, they are burning barracks, they are burning police station. All of you bastards, they're going to Trimena. All of you idiots, all of you demons, can you see what Hope Uzodema is doing in Imo State? All of you zoo newspaper editors, can you see what Hope Uzodema is doing in Imo State this night, arresting people with the army? Can you people see this level of provocation? Because you are the fools that will write and talk and yap your usual nonsense. You animals in the zoological republic. Animals you are. You don't know what freedom is. I don't know why God created black people, the most useless set of people on the face of this planet Earth. A revolution you couldn't sustain for 3 weeks in Kete. I told you a revolution takes a cycle. The gestation period is 4 weeks. If you sustain it for 4 weeks, you would have won. But you couldn't. You allowed them to inject violence. Let me tell you, I warned zoo people, you Nigerians, I warned you. The fact that when Buhari died, you allowed Jubril to take over from Sudan. That conveyed the message to the Fulani that all of you can be easily controlled. Believe you me, God is my witness. With the exception of Ududuwa agitators and Biafra agitators, if Fulani today decides to change the constitution to allow Nigeria to become a one-party state with APC in power forever and ever, I am telling you, you will do nothing. They will succeed. If today a Fulani wakes up and says to themselves, we are going to take over River State, believe you me, they will succeed. They have already said that the oil in Bayelsa belongs to Jigawa, and nobody said one word from the so-called useless Niger Delta. Not one single word. Not PIM. But if you see IPOB, you start running your mouth. Or now you start running your mouth. You start popping like popcorn. Somebody said that the oil in Bayelsa belongs to Jigawa, and all of you kept quiet because they have subdued you. You are under their feet, but not IPOB. People went looking for COVID-19 relief all over the zoological republic. Nothing happened to them. Those in Enugu that went to look for the same relief, they were shot dead, and today we are seeing the pictures and the videos of all the dead bodies. And as I said, I have asked for these videos to be sent to Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi. And I want to ask the governor of Enugu State, when Fulanis invaded Nimbo, did he do anything? Also one, and killing people, did he do anything? Did the police go there to shoot them or the army to shoot them? Fulani people were in Ozo 1 massacring the people of Enugu. Governor, did you do anything? Who else did anything from there? Nothing. The same people, they are hungry and they went to a warehouse where stolen goods were, and they were shot dead. This was the plans the governors had, or the palliatives. That's what somebody suggested. They are called palliatives. They stole the palliatives supplied by World Bank, supplied by the EU, supplied by the US government. They wanted to rebag the rice, put their picture on the bag, either use it for elections or sell it to some of you. And these are your political leaders. Now, there is a man called Buba Galadima. He's an everybody's an elder statesman. He is also an elder statesman. He made a revelation about COVID-19 palliatives, that these governors are squirreled away somewhere, hiding them in warehouses, unmarked warehouses, whilst the people were starving. And I want to ask you, an average Nigerian, how can you trust such people? You were hungry, they locked you up in your homes for weeks on end. And the white people are so, it's always white people, they are the ones who show sympathy. White people who decided to send relief for your upkeep so that you can survive the lockdown. Your so-called excellency took all the bags of rice, cartons of Indomie, and goodness knows what next, and stored them in a warehouse. The governors across Nigeria did not give you the palliative. They wanted you to starve to death. Meanwhile, their children are all abroad. They are in government houses and government lodges, eating and living large. Do you know the most painful part of it? The palliatives, they did not buy you. It's not with their money. White people gave it to them to say, feed those hungry black people in Africa. And they stored it in a warehouse. They did not give it to you. They wanted you to starve to death. How, therefore, can you convince anybody that your politicians love you? Do you see why most of them, their homes were invaded? Some of you idiots chattering your usual rubbish on social media were writing nonsense. Because none of you understood what a revolution, or understand what a revolution entails. There is the good side of a revolution. There's always a very ugly side to a revolution. We all have access to social media. Everybody can come and say, all right. Of course, people are entitled to their views and their opinions. But I must tell you that black people in black Africa is a disgrace. They don't have mental toughness. They're not tough mentally. They don't know. Let me tell you something about white people and mental toughness, and why black Africa will remain poor forever and ever unless we succeed in overthrowing this corrupt, wicked, and evil order that you have. Governors were storing palliatives meant for the people. They did not buy it with their state money. Nigeria did not buy it. Europe and America gave it to you for free to feed your people. Did you feed your people? It's just like a woman, you gave birth to a child and the child is screaming and crying, and the midwife comes and says, it's now time to breastfeed this child. There is milk in your breast as a mother, but you refuse to breastfeed the child. Do you understand what I'm saying? How, if you go to a hospital now, and you go to the maternity ward, and the doctor or the chief midwife comes to you and says to you, as a husband, that your wife gave birth successfully to a bouncing baby boy or baby girl, and that baby is crying, that baby needs milk and bonding with the mother. But your wife has refused to give her or to feed that baby or to give the baby breast milk. How would you feel as a man? Or as a woman, you know that your husband has money. You can see money in his pocket when you go to wash his clothes. And everybody in the house is hungry, including the children. And your husband refuses to bring out that money. As a wife, how would you feel? It's a simple question. These governors, what is so painful is that they did not buy the palliatives. It was given to them for free to give to poor, starving, black African people. They decided to hoard it in a warehouse. People discovered their wickedness and their treachery. Some people that I know are actually defending them online, saying that the palliative shouldn't be, the warehouses should not be broken into. And then I kept asking myself all afternoon, why is it that black people in Africa, they are in love with wickedness? Why? Why do people love wickedness and lying? Black people are liars. They are very wicked and they lie. Let me tell you what this man said, Uba Galadima. He spoke during an interview. It was aired on AIT. He said, allegations of hoarding has been made against some governors. He was the former national secretary for Buhari's party, the CPC, the Janjaweed party. The state in Nigeria, the 36 or 32 states in the zoological republic, they diverted the food items meant for the masses. Meant for the masses. Understand this very clearly. Do you know what happened to the palliative that the white man gave to your black governors in Africa, Miss UG? The day that I finish living on this very earth and I pass on and God calls me and I go, the first thing I'll ask God is, why did you create black people, especially in Africa? Why did you make them? Why? Do you know what Galadima said? One governor came to him. I know a state where all the palliatives taken from the federal government were kept in stores, and they came to my office looking for buyers for those commodities. And they said the buyers must be from the state. Let's say you are in Katsina State, or in Yobe, or in Nasarawa. Europe and America gave money to starving black people in Africa. They channeled that aid through the federal government of Nigeria. And the palliatives were distributed to the states. The one that went to Nasarawa, for instance, let me use the Enugu State. The one that went to Enugu State to feed poor people that Enugu State government did not buy, Abia did not buy, Rivers did not buy, Bayelsa did not buy, Edo did not buy anything, neither did Delta. This was free gift to starving black people in Africa. A governor who claims he is a man of the people. A governor who claims, oh, my state, what is happening in my state? I want to let the world this night understand how evil a black man is. And I want the world to know that black people are suffering all over the world because they are wicked. Black people are evil. They are wicked. We are a very wicked and evil race. Very wicked and evil. Rice was given to you by Canada. US gave you rice. Japan gave you rice. EU gave you rice. You did not buy it yourself. You people were the ones that said, you must stay indoors, quarantine, lock up, lock up. When people go outside, army will kill them, lock them up, terrorize them. You said we should stay indoors. Everybody stayed indoors. And people kept crying, I'm on a day job. I cannot feed my children. You said, shut up and stay there. You provided nothing. But when the white man supplied food for you to give to your fellow starving black people, what did you do? You stored it in a warehouse, and according to Buba Galadima, one state governor approached him and said, please find buyers for these bags of rice supplied by the European Union. Meanwhile, everywhere and everybody is on lockdown. Do you understand? Do you see why I sometimes look at my fellow black people with disdain? Sometimes when I look at a black person, I'm just observing you. What is playing in my mind is that this man or woman is a bundle of wickedness. I have never seen a race more primitive than black people in Africa. Primitive and backwards. No liver to fight. No resilience. Once you drag any serious issue into the realm of gossip, they capitulate. All of you are screaming. Oh, stop, please, stop. And I warned you, in a revolution, you must win. You don't stop. You must win. Any day you stop, the enemies will come. As most of them have proven this very evening. And I'm sure by tomorrow morning you will hear the story. The order has been given. Then you go out and let's say it go. Let me say the bastard that will open his thinking, stupid, egotic mouth to talk rubbish to me. Mad people everywhere. They came to my office and they said, we have palliatives from the federal government. We have put them in stores all over the place. Please, can you push them, I should say? Like Wike will open his mouth and say he will sack a fellow elected public official. You now know why the army of Fulani can be escorting their terrorists to be killing all of you, and you all keep quiet. Because of the Fulani meat that you eat. You people are crazy. Crazy big time. Crazy big time. There are some things left in this revolution. It's called the embers of it. You know that when in the village after cooking, you can put out the fires. But there will still be some pockets, within that fire that is still smoldering. You see, still smoldering. So what led to the spontaneous end SARS protest, I believe that the residue of it is still in some of you and burning very, very widely. All the youths of Nigeria should prepare to come out again. And this time around, there is no stopping until victory is announced. Do you want a better life? Do you want a life of 24-hour security for you and your children in terms of good roads, good schools, good hospitals, better prospects in terms of jobs when you graduate? You are all going to come out on the streets again on a date to be announced. And this time around, I think we have now proven that we outnumber them. You see, when we are all in the house, frightened to come out, they win. But if we come out en masse and meet them, we overrun them. Do not expect Fulani youths to join you. Don't expect Hausa youths to join you. Because Hausa doesn't exist. Hausa is like, they are like zombies possessed by Fulani. Janjaweedism. They don't, Hausa, I don't count them as, have you, these days, do I mention Hausa a lot? Only when I want to tell them what they did to themselves. I only mention Fulani because Hausa doesn't exist. Anybody telling you that Hausa people exist, that person is deluded. Hausa doesn't exist, only the language. Their soul has been taken over by Fulani. Fulani has eaten so deep into them that their soul, the essence of a Hausa man, no longer exists. Now, Buba Galadima said that these palliatives, he asked them, who owns the rice you want to sell to me? They said, we got it from federal government as a palliative. But we are looking for who is going to buy it. But people were locked up in their homes. After locking them up, they came outside. They saw where you stole it from them. These palliatives are being stored. You, the governor, you stole it from the people because it's not yours. It's just like when you see somebody going up, say, oh, I'm in Lagos, oh, my dear brother. Are you going to the village? They'll say, yes. Oh, please, take this envelope. Give to my sick mother in the village. and the person will take the envelope from you, come back to the village, see your sick mother, and not hand her the envelope you gave for her treatment or for her feeding. And when you see that person and you confront that person, your typical idiotic, foolish Nigerian will say, oh, stop harassing that man. And you're saying, I gave him something to give to my mother, he didn't. Do you see how people reason? The bags of rice that we are given to the governors. Please, governor, I'm asking any good state governor. They gave you the rice to do what with? They gave you the rice to distribute to the people. They gave you the cartons of Indomie to distribute to the people. Is it yours? The mere fact that it was given to you to give to people of Enugu State means it is not yours. So the act of withholding it is stealing. I don't know if people are following what I'm saying. Do you understand it? Do you see why I said that black people are evil and very wicked? And God do not bless wicked people. No matter how bad white people are, they are always charitable. Do you know how people become popular in the Western world? People that raise money for charity. Do you see that this guy has been honored by the Queen of England? Rashford, that plays for Man United. What did Rashford do to be earning all those accolades and praise? Because Rashford began a charity to ensure that even in this COVID-19 lockdown, that every child receives a hot meal a day in the whole of the UK, white people. When somebody makes sense or does something that they cannot do, they gang up and they support that person. Do you understand? Rashford is now not just a very good footballer and celebrity. He is now celebrated by everybody, even up to and including Liverpool fans and all other people, even Man City fans, because he did something nice. You can see Lewis Hamilton, the way he took it upon himself to make sure that every sports event in the United Kingdom, you must take the knee before you start. Because of Black Lives Matter. Are you aware of it? Today, because of that, people not only see him as a great sportsman that he is, they now see him as also a humanitarian. And they love and they respect him because of that. I hope you understand what I'm saying very, very clearly. I hope you understand it. These are the things that you must bear in mind. These are the things that you must know, because in this life, what you do for the people is what defines who you are. You are a governor. You are given rice to give to people of MNA. And you studied in a warehouse. You did not distribute it. You didn't. That makes you a criminal. You are Obiano in Anambra State. They gave you rice to distribute to the people. You did not. You are a thief. Not only are you stealing the budget of the state, on common rice, Indomie, packet of Indomie, you also stole it. And so it is with all the 36 or 32 governors you have in the Zoological Republic. And you claim you are serving the people. You claim you are serving the people. I warned all of you when this protest started that they will bribe the media. 4.8 billion they spent. They will bribe them. They will quietly run down the protest. Have you seen it? And that has given them the opportunity to be going house to house now, you know, where arresting people. And they will kill them before tomorrow morning. And hide their bodies. And when we start to burn police stations, idiots will be talking. The next time we commence all of you fools yapping rubbish, will find all of you one after the other. Now that some of you have stopped coming out to protest, do you have justice? Do you have justice? The answer is no. You people don't know how evil Nigeria is. You have no idea. you just don't come out and go into a revolution. If you don't develop hatred for Nigeria today, well, what I call blind hatred for Nigeria, as some of us, I hate Nigeria in such a way that when I see the flag green, white, green, I want to go into a state of convulsion. I despise, I'm telling you, anytime somebody says, I am a proud Nigerian or I am a Nigerian, I hate you. I don't care who you are. I don't see you as a human being. You have stopped protesting, some of you have. Do you have electricity in your home now? 24 hours? Do you have running water in your home? How about the checkpoints? Have they stopped? Has police and army brutality gone? That was why people came out in the first place. Have you managed to stop army and police brutality? The answer is no. Things have just gone back to normal. These idiots have defeated some of you because you don't hate Nigeria enough. You don't understand? You need to have a pathological hatred for Nigeria to overthrow it. Because if you do not kill Nigeria, Nigeria will kill you. We'll just allow you in the next couple of weeks to see what we are talking about. You people are weak. A revolution is not meant for weak people. A revolution is meant for people who are determined. And being on social media, complaining after church service, complaining to your friends and your family is not going to solve the problem. What solves the problem is action. Action is what solves the problem. And that action we are going to undertake in the coming weeks and days. That is the Galadima. And let me tell you, people that believe in one Nigeria, I don't know how Britain managed to rearrange your brains, but they did very, very well. You know, the white man is very clever. You know, I am being honest with you. The more I look at us, black people, our hopelessness, our stupidity, our greedy nature, which made the governors to steal the rice belonging to the people. And when the people broke into the warehouse, they are calling the people criminals. You stole my motorcycle. You did not just steal from me. You came to my village. You packed all our motorcycles as a thief, and you stored it somewhere in a warehouse in Omaha Township. And we went to the warehouse to recover our motorcycles. Now, Nigerian media, they ganged up, but they're not calling us hoodlums. Hoodlums. My property. The rice was given by the EU to give to the people. It's not yours, Mr. Governor. Do you understand? Do you understand? As somebody called the zoo, location 419. Everybody is a thief. Ndioshi, thieves. You're so-called, you will see that they say, oh, they have stolen your money. Oh. Every monthly allocation is theirs because Nigeria is run like a feudal system. The House of Assembly do not have any oversight function insofar as the budget is concerned. A House of Assembly cannot hold the governor to account only when they collect money from Abuja to try to impeach somebody. That's all they can do. Governor, is the rice yours? No. Then it is a stolen property. People breaking into warehouses are recovering their properties that you stole. Somebody that read journalism in school, somebody that claims he or she has common sense, working for Punch newspaper, working for Vanguard, working for Sun, working for Nation, working for Daily Telegraph, working for Daily Trust, working for, where are all these useless, idiotic newspapers, working for them. You have, despite all your education as an editor, you allow a news to make the round that people that went to look for their bags of rice that the governor stole and their bags of Indomie, that they are hoodlums. Them and the governors who should be called a hoodlum. Do you see why I say that black people do not reason? Hey, black people don't reason. Black African people, they do not reason. Somebody from the US, okay, let me give you an example. Somebody sent you Western Union from Europe or from America or from Asia or from South America. Western Union. And on getting to the bank manager seized your money. What are you going to do? You and the bank manager or the bank manager say, oh, no money was sent to. No money was sent to me because that's what they said. We have no palliatives. People were crying and dying and they said, we have no palliatives at all. I want to ask you a simple question. Somebody sent you a MoneyGram or Western Union from England and the bank manager came out to address you and said to you, I don't have your money. But you have the control number, you have all the details, and the bank manager, the money is not here. But when you went out, you can hear the cashier saying, oh, please, Oga manager, here is that 10,000 that Dio that was sent to Dio. And Dio was leaving the bank. Upon hearing that, Dio now came back and snatched the money from the bank manager. Do you know what Nigerian papers will say? A bank manager attacked, 10,000 naira stolen from a bank manager. But the money belongs to Dio in the first place. It doesn't belong to the bank manager. Now, imagine that somebody sent you Western Union and the bank said to you, we can't give it to you. That's what it is. How would you feel? The same thing that the bags of rice sent by the EU was not meant for the governors. It was meant for you, ordinary people. And the governors took it. Now, who is a hoodlum? But because, as I told you before, black people are naturally wicked and evil. That is why a journalist in Lagos or in Abuja with conscience will sit down in his office and write and say that hoodlums broke into Palliative warehouse and stole bags of rice. Bags of rice that were meant for them in the first place. How do you want me to preach this gospel so you understand that the way people do things in Africa, that the way we reason is our problem? The way the brain of a black person functions is the greatest impediment to the development of Africa. We don't reason. Europe gave rights to poor people in Nigeria. They did not give it to governors. But out of respect and protocol, before they start saying you are invading our sovereignty, they gave it to the federal government of Nigeria to share to everybody, and they shared. At least we can now see that what that Fulani Janjaweed lady is saying is at least true, that palliatives were shared to every part of the country. That was what, that is it, Sadia, whatever her name is, that Abakiari's former girlfriend, what's her name, Sadia, whatever. She said, we distributed palliatives. People were arguing, especially in the South. No palliatives were received. We have nothing. We are dying of hunger. Every governor from Sanwo-Olu in Lagos to Alade in Cross River, they saw people crying and complaining of hunger. Meanwhile, there are bags of rice, tons of them, in a warehouse supplied by white people. White people in Europe and in America, they saw black people crying and saying, we have no food, we have no food, we are in quarantine, they won't allow us to come out. And they gave those black people, and the governors, they hoarded it. But in the house of the governor, he has food, he has chicken, he has turkey, he has goat, he has cow, he has donkey, he has camel, he can eat anything he likes. We did not ask him to please give us from government house, but this one that was supplied by Oyibo, give it to us. And they said no. They stole it. Your governors are thieves. They stole the whole thing. Put it in their houses, in their private warehouse, and locked it up. Now, when the hungry people went to get it, when the hungry people went to get what Oyibo gave to them, because EU gave them the bags of rice and said, give to your poor people. When those poor people went to go and get what EU gave to them, a Nigerian newspaper editor that went to school, and is now calling them hoodlums and what's it called? There's another word they use. They use hoodlum and they use what's another word? It will come to me. All manner of names. That somebody went to take what is his. Went to go and take what belongs to him. You sent me Western Union. And I went to get it. And the person is saying he's not here. And as I'm going out, I can see them forging my signature, trying to collect my money. And I went there and I snatched my money from them. And a Nigerian journalist, or AIT, or even channels, they will say, oh, a criminal at the bank attacks the bank manager and snatched money from the bank manager. In my next life, I will not see black people. God knows I won't. I don't want to see black people. I don't want to see them. God forbid. You people are wicked. Absolutely wicked. They are also in Olo now molesting people. Nigerian army is in Olo. You see, they say, oh, bring down the tension, calm down, go and clean the streets, calm down. We have calmed down, we have cleaned the streets, they have now come to molest us. Who else in their right mind will ever call me again and say, calm down? They won't even try that rubbish anyway. They're in Olo, they're nowhere now molesting people. Do you see why we are hunting Hopus at the matter? They're in Olo, they're nowhere molesting people. Fulani Janjaweed. And by tomorrow, if I knew that black people was this way, I would have died in my mother's womb. If I knew that God, Elohim, was putting me in a race that is not only wicked, but very stupid, on top of their wickedness, they have stupidity. God knows I wouldn't want to come. That is why I don't give a damn sometimes when danger is around me. I don't care. Because living the life as a black person is torture. Especially if you can reason. If you have common sense and you can reason. Being a black person is torture, is punishment, is a crime against yourself. How can people, when we call them looters, they don't believe it. How can you be looting something that was given to you to give to somebody? The budget you have been stealing, buying houses in Dubai, in America, in London, in Paris, is not enough. Ordinary bag of rice, you even stole it. Governors, ordinary bag of rice belonging to the people used. Carton of Indomie is Runyanoshi. Oh, Chineke and Kebere. This UG, I don't know, in my next life, I don't want to be close to you people. I can never, sometimes I run out of adjectives. I don't know how to describe them. I don't know who they are. Blacks everywhere in the world. The same thing. Wickedness upon wickedness. Idiocy upon idiocy. Stupidity upon stupidity. Common to reason. They don't have. Hey. In our own lifetime, people were wondering, I know after my gospel in the morning, that Asia and we the little Hitler of Rivers, brother of Hitler, with his mustache. You know, when I preach, I say always that we are always right and we always win. Always right and we always win. Now listen. I used to say to you people that Biafra is evil. Forget your oh my, how do I explain this to this? You know, I'm talking to black people. I just want to find the right words. So when I explain it, you understand. The whole of Biafra land is Igbo. It doesn't mean that anybody is coming to impose whatever language on you. The reason why my Yoruba brothers, they have the same language is because of the conquest from Ile-Ife of other Yoruba people. Like the Lajes, the Ijebus, those from Ekiti, what are they called again? Ijebu people, there are the Egba people, but they're all Yoruba because of conquest. Because the royal family from Ile-Ife conquered all of them and imposed Yoruba language. Had the Yoruba society remained republican by nature, the Egba people will speak a different language, the Lajes will speak a different language, the Jebus will speak a different language, the Oyo will speak a different language. Do you understand? But they're all together, all one family. The reason why I want a strong agent, pig, you're listening, and weekend. The reason why everybody in Biafra land, the East, doesn't speak Igbo today is because Igbo people never had a king that can go to war. There was no king. God is our king. And you do not take what doesn't belong to you. It is called it means you must be fair all times. That thing you don't want somebody to do to you, don't do it to another person. That was the reason why there was no history of conquest. And because of that, people had their own distinct dialect, had their own way of life. Are you following? Now let me tell you why I said, I've preached this before, but you know people are sometimes hard at hearing, so I'll preach it again tonight. Let me tell you the reason why I said that Biafra land is Igbo. Not Igbo language. Not that Igbo people own it. Everybody is Igbo originally. I want to prove to all of you that everything I say is correct. How many states make up Biafra land? I wish I'm doing this thing in a town hall meeting. I would have enjoyed it more. Biafra land, as I have said and as I have argued, and even when I was arrested and detained, they were interviewing me at DSS. They asked me to give them the names of the areas that I say is Biafra territory. I said Imo, Enugu, Edo, Abia, Bayelsa, Rivers, Cross River, Ebonyi, Anambra, Delta, Akwa Ibom, Benue, Kogi. Once I mentioned Kogi and Benue, they went mad. Hey, he has come. Oh, he wants to take middle belt as well. Even Garabashe, we said it only last week. And this night, please pay me attention. Give me your attention. Give me your attention. I'm begging you, please. Why I said that Biafra land is Igbo. Igbo is the glue that holds it together. And I will prove it to you tonight. Do you know why I'm angry with Nigeria? Some people don't understand. I hate Nigeria with a passion. I despise Nigeria with every sinew in my body. From 13 states, they shrunk the Igbo nation to only 5 in the middle. And I want you to minus 5 from 13. What are you left with? 8. There are 8 states where there are Igbo people that the Fulani is telling you that they are not Igbo or they have given to other people by force. Now listen, please. Why I said everybody is Igbo. Are there Igbo people in Imo State? Yes. Are there Igbo people in Edo State? Yes. Igbo people in Abia? Yes. Even in Bayelsa. Somebody say, hey, but it's, hey, Bayelsa. Hey, but it's Joland. Yes, it is. But there is a place called Usekwenike, Abueto, Eke, Okokri. When we used to sing a song, Bedo Okokri. Well, I won't go into that anyway. Okokri. And if you come to our land, if you go to every school you have today and ask the headmaster to bring out the register, somebody's answering Okokri. Even in Enugu. These are in Bayelsa. Igbo towns and villages in Bayelsa. Are there Igbo people in Cross River State? Yes. In Akwa Ibom? Yes. In a Kalogo government area? Oh dear. State? Yes. It's now that I have been shouting and screaming and condemning Ohanese and Diatron and Yoshi that they have now started to say, okay, let us see if we can go and find them. Because of Radio Biafra, because of IPOB, what we are doing here. But are there Izon people in Imo? No. Doma people in Abia? No. But in every state that make up the traditional Biafra land, Igbo people are found in all of them. Igbo-speaking people are found in all of them. That tells you something, that all of us have a common Igbo ancestry and heritage, which we know as Biafra. Do you understand now? The reason why only 5 states were accepted, or the former East Central state, is because the Fulani, courtesy of the British, wants to diminish and reduce our size and number. This is something that Wike doesn't know. And I want to shock Wike tonight with facts and figures. I want to teach Wike a lesson that he would never ever forget. Why I said we are all Igbo people is the same way the 12 tribes of Israel descended from one origin, which is Jacob. But the same, Jacob is their father, all of them, the 12 tribes. Jacob is their father, one man. But as the centuries wore on, they started to speak different languages. But from the same man, Jacob, they all started to speak different languages. They intermarried. They're from the same blood, though. They intermarried. And as you well know, some people used to accuse us before to say, oh, people, you always marry from your village when you want to get married. And I said to them, go and listen to what Jacob said, to what Isaac said. Go to my people and get a wife for my son. That's how it's been from the beginning. And it means that, listen carefully, anybody from Imo, Enugu, Edo, Abia, Bayelsa, Rivers, Cross River, Ebonyi, Anambra, Delta, Akwa Ibom, Benue, and Kogi, I mean Lower Benue and Lower Kogi, you can marry anybody from here because you are from one ancestry. You have one ancestral heritage. The language may be different. The dance steps may be slightly different, but they all tie to a piece wrapper, the same women. You can marry anybody from here, and you can rise up and say, I am married to an Igbo woman. Is here now? Is there any place here that there are no Igbo people? That is what Nigeria doesn't want you to know. That is why they hate us. The corrupt, idiotic ones. Few of them, of course. And that is why we must continue until... Is it Ebema? Hey! I want to let Wike understand. In River State, you have Ebema, Eche, Omoma. The same way you have Omoma in Ungwa. Ndoni, Ikwere, Epeye, Opibo, Opopo, and Oba. And Opopo is Is Bonnie here? Bonnie, where is Bonnie? They didn't even put Bonnie here. There's not Bonnie is not here. Which is Opani. Ubani. Like you have an Opani babe. Bonnie. Do you know where they come from? I want to teach Wike a lesson tonight. Do you know where these people come from? And I want to prove it to anybody. If you're from Ebema, you're from, no, not Ebema. Ebema is separate. As you have Ebema in Imo State, Makadi and Mama. You have, if you're from Eche, you're from Ikwere. Let me pick only those two out, Eche and Ikwere. Do you know the people that gave birth to you? At least what I call your maternal lineage. Almost 80% of the people you see today in Iguacha saying they are Niger Delta from River State, their maternal lineage is from Ikeduru in Imo State. Go and ask. People are listening in Iguacha tonight. Our FM is on in Iguacha. I want you to go and ask your father and ask your father to be honest with you, or ask your mom. Where does my grandmother come from? Don't say you ask her, where is it that our grandmother came from in the first place? They will tell you, Ikeduru. You know, in those days, it happened in my village as well. Once one Olokoro woman is married into Isama Farubu, she will go to her village and she will bring her younger sister or her younger niece. They will come to my village, and from there, they too will get married to somebody in my village. That is why if you come to my village, there are all, the state of my grandmother and my aunt, so to speak, they are all from Olokoro. Go and check. Come to Isama Farubu and check. The same thing happened in Iguacha. Almost all their mothers came from it. The same way that almost all their mothers in Ijola and Izon came from Arochukwu. I forgot to add Ondo State. Our people are in Ondo State as well. It doesn't mean that Ondo is Igbo territory. No, it's not. But we have Izon people, Ijon in Ondo State. And they too, the Oromo people are coming with us. They are coming with, I don't, is it is it Aromo, A-R-O-M-O, whatever. I want to get it right. They're also coming with us. They are Biafrans. We can't leave them. Now you understand why we preach this gospel the way we do. So that's something that Wike, if you trace your Wike is pure Igbo anyway, I'm not even going to go far. One Ike, you're not Igbo? Wike, Wike. So when he travels abroad, they call him, hey, hello, Mr. Wike. He'll think he's with his resource control hat, Panama hat they wear. Our land. That bowler hat you wear, resource control hat you wear, looking like Churchill. That's Churchill's hat now. Are you English? I'm asking you. Those of you idiots that claim that from Niger Delta in Indian land, are you English? You're wearing a hat made in Europe. You say it's your traditional wear. Does that make sense to you? That tells you that you are ashamed of your traditional wear. And your traditional wear is Ubu. The same one that Ababio wears. The same one that Chibika Mechi wears. Obu Egrubu. The same one they wear when they want to go to war dance, you know, half year. Does that, is that clear now? I hope that some of you are following. The reason why in his own land they wear bowler hats made by Europeans is because of the preponderant influence of slavery. You know me, I tell you the truth. God said you must preach the truth regardless of the consequences. That's what I preach. Is bowler hats, that's the hat that Jonathan wears and Edwin Clark. Is it traditional to Africa? Is it African attire? That thing you put on your head. Is it African? What is African in that part of the world? Only two types of hat. The red cap that Ndinse and also they wear, and the blue, the one that you weave with cotton, that Akpabio wears. Are they not the two caps that we have? Are they not African? Are they not traditional? You that is wearing bowler hat and the Panama hat in the creeks, is that Panama hat you're wearing or bowler hat? Is it African? Please come back to your roots. People should give them the red cap to wear and the Ogwegwu. Somebody should give it to Jonathan to be wearing. So when you travel abroad, they look at you. A bowler hat is meant to be worn with a suit, a morning suit. Do you know what is a morning suit? You know the one that looks like a praying mantis, the one that comes out at the back. That's what it's called, a morning suit. The one they wear to attend weddings. When you're getting married, in an Englishman is getting married, that is what they wear. The one that flares out at the back, small at the front, flares out at the back, or with a suit, you can wear a bowler hat. You don't see a white man wearing ordinary shirts without a tie, and you see them wearing a bowler hat. It's not possible. But here, somebody will tie a wrapper the way we do with dress. I tie a wrapper as well. We tie our wrapper, dress traditionally, and you put on a bowler hat. Resource control hat. And you say you are an African. No, you're not. They must change the way they dress. And dress African. And you must put something on your head as somebody who is titled. A titled person doesn't go out without a head cover. The same head cover today that the Jews wear all over the world. You know the black patch that we put on, some of us put on. Have you seen any elderly man in the village come out without covering his head before? Hey, my goodness me. My goodness me. People should be paying for this lecture. So it's not free. They should be paying for it because it's not easy. The Elohim said we should preach it. And that is what we are preaching. Somebody will put on a bowler hat and say, oh, it's your traditional dressing. Being identified as an Igbo man, or Igbo woman for that matter. That was what the white man taught you, to hate yourself, despise yourself, what they did to blacks in America. That is why they sell bleaching cream. That was why they developed relaxer, to straighten their hair so they will look like Oyibo. The same thing you're doing, wearing a bowler hat. You don't even know the meaning of it. You don't even know how to sequence the type of attire you need to be before you wear a bowler hat. You just go and buy it and you're tying wrapper and you're wearing a bowler hat. And they say, oh, this is a delegation from Niger Delta. Look at me wearing it's called a Panama hat. Panama. Go and Google it. Panama hat. It is not African. You are not African. Then I'm here. Here I will lecture them. In the East, in Biafra land, there are only two types of hats. You have the red hats, the chieftaincy hat that you have, and then you have a Igbo, the cotton one that people also use. Go and check it out. When you're wearing a bowler hat, you're saying, I'm a product of slavery.
Should give them the ESN, that's what they deserve. It's been a long time that they might get to mess around. Cause anything for bullshit be bullshit. Anything for bullshit be bullshit. Let us go. Freedom, freedom, freedom. We are saying, give us freedom. Freedom, freedom, freedom. Let us go. Give us some freedom. Freedom, freedom, give us some freedom. Give us freedom. Uncreated of people, give our rights to be free. Marginalization, oh, come on, slavery, tell you my people. Freedom, freedom, freedom. We are saying, give us some freedom. We are not freedom. They are saying, we are not like a freedom. We are freedom. We are freedom. Freedom, freedom, freedom. We are saying, we want to be free from slavery. I want to ask a question. I want to ask a question. Is it wrong for one to ask for what belongs to him? I want to ask a question. I want to ask a question. Is it wrong for one to ask for what belongs to him? What have we done to deserve these feelings? What have we done to deserve this persecution? What have we done to deserve this suffering? And more, and more, and more. Does it mean the Baba don't know how to bow? Or does it mean the razor not too sharp? Why do you ignore the crime of Kanu and not my head? Freedom is power, freedom is unity, freedom is power. We need a fight. We need a fight. One family. One family. One family. One family. One family. I said one family. One family. One family. Nnamdi Kanu, well done. I didn't even I say well done. One family. One family. Eastern Security Network, well done.
Respect.
you're suffering. You are dash. For bills, let the leaves, brown leaves, fashion. I rise and dance. What up for that? I rise and dance. So we will rise, we will dance. We will rise, we will dance. Peace with we will dance. And you know, dance. Nnamdi Kanu, Odogwu Kuje, Mazi Chukwu nyelu ndị Igbo. Asị ndị gaba n'iru, n'onwere ife ebe a ga-eme, ọjọ nke a na-egbu ilu ma nchacha. Ọjọ nke a na-egbu ilu, okwu nna m gwara omukwuo, ọ sị na ọjọ nke a na-egbu ilu. Ịma na nwata chọta nke ya, akpọghị ya ajọ mmadụ, mana nke nwa ka nwa na-achọ. Chukwu okike ekwe n'azụ, Chukwu okike sokeje, n'onwere ife ndị ya ga-eme. Ebe a na-egbutere gị, no pressure, si n'onwere ife ọzọ ma ga-eme. Maka na ọjọ nke a na-egbu ilu, ụmụ Igbo eze ọnụ nke anyị.
Dr. Nnamdi once said, when two incompatibles meet, they can coexist if only they agree to agree and agree to disagree. But Nigeria, can we ever agree? My learned senior and mentor, G.T. Ogunye, senior advocate of the masses, recently said, the country does not survive solely because of forced unity. It survives on purpose and fruitfulness. This Nigerian house, he said, is fallen. Today, if it is not agitation for Odua Republic, it is movement for the actualization of Biafra, or Arewa threatening to send Igbos back in from the north. How about Boko Haram?
God began to speak to me about Biafra, and I'm worried. I stopped somewhere last month, and I'm going to throw a little light on another one. And I pray that the authority concerned should listen to me. And it's a statement. Dialogue now, so that you should not be knocking the door for dialogue and there's no dialogue. That's what God told me. I keep saying it. I said there is a spirit in this young man. It is bigger than what physical eye can see. I'm not an Igbo man, I'm a Yoruba man, but I'm speaking as a prophet. I said what I see in this young man is bigger than him. You see the man, the small boy that they call him, what is inside him is bigger. It's not just an ideology, it's bigger. I said, I see an animal. Which animal did I told you last time? Huh? I said what? A what? A what? A small puppy. And I see a small puppy going forward. All of a sudden, I saw so many strange wild animals, lion, deer, great animals around the puppy. Then I saw the puppy look back and saw that the animals around him are so many. Suddenly the puppy, what I saw last month is different from what I'm seeing now. The puppy is developing some futures of wild animals. This prophetic word is not for the negative. It's very important. Take the Biafra agitation serious. Dialogue now. Because I see a time. Doors are knocked. Calls are made. People who are heavy are saying we have come down. But these people are not willing to dialogue again. Please, redeeming the time, for the days are evil. Dialogue now.
Dialogue now. I repeat it again. I'm not an evil man, but I'm telling you what I'm shown in the spirit. What? I'm saying great people, important people in this nation coming together and saying, now, okay, we want to sit on the table, let us talk. But the people you want to talk with are saying, it's too late. Please, dialogue now. The days ahead are evil. Dialogue now. This is not a cry of a baby. It's a cry of an adult. I repeat it again. Dialogue now. The Bible said, blessed are the peacemaker, for they shall be called the children of God. Please, every authority, there come a time when a revolution is about to take place. The power of God, bombs, and bullets cannot hold an ideology. Please, dialogue now. This is not the time of, I have bullets, I have bomb, I have bomb. This has nothing to do with bullet and bomb. If you know what I'm seeing in the realm of the spirit, everyone in federal authority should take the Biafra agitation serious. If you are once a founding father of this nation, sit down around the table and listen to your children. Dialogue now. This is not the time to arrest anybody. It's the time to hear the cry of the people. Dialogue now. Because it's going to be the last resultant solution at the end. But when you are asking, when the king comes down from his throne and he's saying, I'm ready to talk, and everybody is throwing stone at you, then you will know that it is important to dialogue with honor and prestige and go out, and there is peace in the land.
The city of Laodicea have so much gold. They have so much gold that people come from all over to buy gold. Now, listen. They bring gold and refine it in their land. Their land does not produce gold, but they bring gold and they refine it. And that is one of the reasons I talk to every African. The whites, I make bold to say, and let the whole world hear me. The whites planned to enslave us forever. It started from the time they came to colonize us. They spoiled our education system. They killed our mentality from the beginning. It takes the wise to understand what I'm talking about, but I will still say it. How did they do it? They did not educate us to be educated. They educated us to remember. They did not educate us to think. That is why we in Africa, no matter how educated you are, with our system of education, the only thing you are trained to do is to remember. You are not trained to think. No matter your discipline, it is something targeted at our tomorrow. And we need to wake up and liberate ourselves. And I will talk to Africa one of these days. And I will tell my people how we shall liberate ourselves from that. What do I mean? If I don't make it clear, you will not understand what I mean. What I mean is this. By the curriculum they gave to us, by the way they fashioned our education, this is what they did to us. They educated us the way we will remember the past. So we keep living in the past. If you are a lawyer in this place, the only thing you will learn is how to remember the laws that were made, how to remember them and quote them. So you are educated to remember the past. You are educated to remember things that happened. If you are a medical doctor in this house,
You are not educated to invent. You are not educated to think and bring out new things. But you are educated to remember there was a time somebody had this thing in America and they joined this one to this one. So your education is based on remembrance. They fixed us, trained us only to remember. They did not train us to think. If you're a lawyer in this place, when you get to court, you quote the things that has happened before. And it is when you quote the things that have happened before that you can remember. We clap for you as a good and a powerful lawyer. Now it's no longer interesting because now they say write everything and send. So people no longer talk for us to hear. Those days when they talk for us to hear, you hear quote and unquote. In 1972, in the High Court, seated at the this, that, remember. You are trained to remember. You are not trained to think. Even in my field, as a pastor, you are trained to remember what happened in Jerusalem. What happened years ago. What happened during the time of Christ. But you are not trained to think. Now, when there is any danger in the world, people from all over the world who we are trained to think, we think on what to invent, what to produce, to hit what is happening. But our own is that happiness show. Our brain is to remember. So we will sit down and wait for others to invent before we will copy, because we are trained only to remember. Did that make sense to anybody? If I make sense to you, shout, God help us. I have something for my generation. I have something to tell the world on our behalf. Somebody say, help us, Lord. This is a strategic agenda to keep us under. Why am I saying this? I told you that there is a lot of gold in Liberia, but they do not produce gold. Ladies and gentlemen, Buckingham Palace in England, London, Buckingham Palace is built and designed with gold, but there is no gold in England. England do not produce gold, but Ghana produce gold. But in the house of the king of Kumasi, there is no gold designed there. But in England, Buckingham Palace, they took the gold from Ghana and they designed Buckingham Palace. But where we are, there is no gold. Can I talk to you? They educated us to remember. So, by your formation, that is why when you tell me I'm a professor in Nigeria, I just look at you. You tell me you're this in Nigeria, I just look at you. Wow. No matter your training, the system position you to remember. Ladies and gentlemen, can you view me? Before now, anybody that's schooled in abroad, when they come back to Nigeria, what we used to call them is bintu. I don't know if any of you know when we call them the bintu. Now, the difference between them that studied there and we that studied here is that those of them who studied there, they were trained with different ideology. When they come back here, we look like people who are not educated. It is not true. The only difference is that they have the opportunity to mix up with those who are trained to think. So they think. But here, we are trained to remember. Our army used to be one of the best in land battle. But can I say this to you? That was when some very dangerous weapons has not come in place. Now that sophisticated weapons have come in place, we are no longer finding our feet. You know why? We are trained to remember.
not trained to think. We are not able to follow events and follow the happenings. Thank God for the prophetic. Thank God for the prophetic. Prophetic takes us beyond where they think ordinarily we will get to. And the only reason they have a little bit of fear when it comes to Christendom for Africa is the prophetic. Apart from the prophetic, they are the ones who tell us, who teach us, and the only thing they teach us is to remember. They are not teaching us to think, but they teach their people to think. They teach their people to invent. But they are teaching us to remember. Show me one Africa who has manufactured anything different from what you remember and learn from Ulibo. And you start. Who in Africa have invented something that had never existed before? Don't we have the same brain they have? And our own is even stronger. But from time, they educate us only to remember. Now they are pushing for one word religion, and they are pushing for one word for reorienting the world. Why? They want to subdue our children to where they kept us, because they have seen that some of our children are being sent out there to compete with their own children. So what are they trying to do? They are trying to bring it back, bring us down and subject and submit our children to that place of where they call the basics, where the only thing we do is to remember. Right where you're sitting, no matter how educated you are, sit down and reason what I have told you. The only thing you are trying to do is to remember. You are only trying to remember. For a lawyer to wake up and go to court in Nigeria, you will go and carry books, what they call law books of judgments that they have given in the past, and you start reading them. What are you doing? Remember, you are not moving forward. There are things that played out 1980 that if you bring it now, it will not work again. But when you quote 1980 in court, we clap for you. You quote 1999 Constitution, we clap for you. You quote this, we clap for you. Why? You are trained to remember. What about thinking about future? What about somebody bringing out something that was not in existence before? That is what they do, but they don't want us to do. They think we remember. The one they think out, they pass across to us, they will remember. If you get there and you were educated in their system to think, they will seize you. You are not allowed to come back to Africa again. Because if you come back to Africa, you will sell it to other Africa. And if you sell it to other Africa, our orientation will change. And if you sell it to us, in 1 year, we will be better than them. And what will they do? They will seize you. If you insist on going, they will kill you. Why are they going to kill you? They will kill you because of what you have upstairs. They will seize you because of what you have upstairs. Then they will do you what I call partial slavery. What is partial slavery? Partial slavery is that you are free, but in their land. They will give you everything you need, but in their land. You are not permitted to step an inch. And they don't want us to think. They only want us to remember. When our president attends their meeting, listen to the presidents, listen to African presidents. I'm not talking of one president. Listen to African presidents. The only thing we do is when we attend their meetings, we echo what they have taught. We don't contribute nothing because we are not trained to think. What are they looking for in Africa? They are looking for raw material. They are not looking for raw people. They collect our raw materials and make it useful in their place. Then they want Africa to remain the way we are. Let me say this to you. This is what happened in Laodicea. When I went into research and I discovered the amount of gold that was found in Laodicea, and I went into history and I studied and discovered that this land do not produce gold. How much more you have too much gold? Somebody must go down for another to come up. They have taken advantage of us. What are they looking for in Africa? I made a complete research and I'm able to say this. The whole African countries put together, all the African countries put together, our yearly budget, our yearly income as a continent is not 20% of American own as a country. I'm talking about Africa. Put the whole of Africa is not 20% of American own. But this is a continent. The richest continent in the world when you talk about raw materials. They made our education system. Education that remembers. But we can help ourselves. Every business you're doing today, when you want to make it international business, they sit you down and teach you to remember. That is why they tell you formulas. These are things to remember. They tell you strategies. These are things to remember. Before they started teaching you, they have drawn a line of the height you will get to. If your business must go beyond that height, you will bring them to come and manage it. Show me any business that have succeeded beyond boundaries. They are the people at the head. Why? They think we remember.
Your people, oh God, help your people. How many times you will see before we know enter mysterious? How many things do we hear before we know enter mysterious? Stay round up, ready, round up, enter mysterious. Round up, ready, round up, enter mysterious. The word of God years ago is now come to pass. Prophets about the enter is now taking place. Say I last day, we fight against kingdoms. Political crisis has killed many lives. The things we hear every day, we tell you say enter this year. Things we hear every day, we tell you say enter this year. How many times do we see before we know enter this year? How many things do we hear before we know enter this year? Stay round up, ready, round up, enter this year. Round up, ready, round up, enter this year. Oh Lord, have mercy, reviver. The drop of rain today becomes a flood, you many lives. A little fire break out becomes so big, you many lives. Accidents happen today, no single soul is survived. We got fertilizer in our farms, no farm again, they live in nature. The rich man in this country becomes a slave in another man's land. How many times do we see before we know enter this spirit? How many things do we see before we know enter this spirit? They round up, ready, round up, enter this spirit. Round up, ready, round up. Many news every day, so many stories everywhere. If you know the 48 man, we rape a child. 12 years boy today commits a crime, life imprisonment, kidnapping everywhere, killing one another for rituals. How many times do we see before we know enter this fear? How many things do we hear before we know enter this fear? Say round up, ready, round up, enter this fear. Round up, ready, round up, enter this fear. Churches everywhere, always preach prosperity. No more evangelism, if you don't come to church, you can never be saved. We no more free salvation, the love of many our single. If you pay for worldly pleasure, you also pay to praise the Lord. Round up, ready, round up, and God is here. Round up, ready, round up, and God is here. How many times do we see before we know enter this fear? How many things do we hear before we know enter this fear? Stay round up, ready, round up, and God is here. Round up, ready, round up, and God is here. Just say, little goddess. Kita bonye na Kanu Uzor idisi aka. Ebu na tu mama mabeka makabaje. Amu baba ni mafia, tani fulani jule bafu.